pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
So a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series, live from the Dover Motor Speedway, presented by Voiles Trucking. We're so glad you're joining us here tonight on JTN. Hello and welcome. My name is Joe Twansky. Joining me up here in the booth tonight, you know him, you love him. He is the one, the only Mr. Joseph Weaver. Weaver, buddy, welcome back to the JTN booth and welcome to Dover, Delaware.
Hello, Joe, and hello, everybody at home. Out here, coming at you live from Dover. Feels good to be here in Dover. I feel like we don't get to come out here too often. Always love a good race.
Did you miss having 2 Dover races a year on the NASCAR schedule? You missed that, or do you think... I feel like one's good enough for most racetracks.
I mean, yeah, I feel like one's good enough, but I wouldn't be mad with 2. I wasn't mad with 2 Dover races.
Okay.
There might have been some I would have took away before that, but
like,
I don't know. I'd have to think
still
about
look to
it.
see which one's got 2.
Yeah,
fair enough. Well, folks, this is your race preview again, as always, presented by AutoSim 2. Remember, you can find AutoSim 2 now on Steam. 140 laps here tonight from a track that we've been told is going to act a lot like Rockingham. Earlier this year, Weaver, where tire wear and fall off was a big deal, burning that right rear off and the car getting loose as the run goes on. We're told that's kind of the similar scenario here tonight for these drivers. Tire management was a big key on Sunday in the NASCAR Cup Series race. What do these drivers have to do tonight to try to keep the good years underneath them?
I just gotta have some patience, Joe. Something I always try to do here at Dover is just get behind the car and ride around for a good bit of the run and kind of pounce on it after those leaders, the guys running up front. After they burn their tires off, you can make up some time on them and come out ahead at the end of the run. So just having some patience and being able to go out there and just manage your tires is going to go a long way tonight.
And managing those tires and being patient at a track like Dover that it chews things up, folks. I mean, we've all seen the pileups that have happened. I still recall Joey Logano's big tumble down in turns 3 and 4 here back in the COT days. This track, it can be a fickle one. It's the Monster Mile for a reason. Miles might come up and bite you here tonight and try to grab you and, I don't know, throw you across the racetrack. You never know. You never know here at Dover. Remember, folks, if you haven't already, click the like button on the video and subscribe. Doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. Remember to also say hello. See Kathy in chat. Josh is in chat. Greg's in chat. We're looking to have a wonderful night of racing here tonight. That's right, Greg. Anytime Logano tumbles, as long as he's okay and gets out of the race car, it's a good day.
He's had quite a few tumbles, huh?
He has. And you know what? It probably deserves them, for being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, you could say most of them are probably his fault. But
yeah, reap what you sow, right? Is that that's the phrase? But qualifying has concluded. Weaver, why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
With pleasure, Joe. Starting on pole position tonight, set a time of 22.417. It's the 18 car of Tyler Mallon. Outside row 1 is the 5 of Zach Rogers. On row 2, we have the 011 of Steve Grant and the 095 of Wiley King. Row 3 is the 103 of BSR Nelly and the 92 of Joshua Clements. Row 4 is the 4 of BSR Silver Bullet and the 66 of BSR Terry Scott. Row 5 is the 91 of BSR DJ Champ and the 9 of Ken Hansen. Row 6 is the 19 of BSR Furco and the 028 of BSR Monty Keller. Row 7 is the 49 of BSR Brain Fade and the 68 of BSR Brian Voiles. And on row 8 we have the 93 of BSR Ricky J.
15 cars here tonight from Dover. Remember, folks, click the like button, subscribe, and you can check out Bomb Squad Racing League at bombsquadracing.net. 140 laps tonight, Weaver. It's a longer race. It's 140 miles, though, around this track. Dover, what kind of wear and tear are these drivers going to see? We talked about the tires. What are they going to feel here tonight behind the wheel?
Well, Joe, if this thing goes green, we're going to see a lot of drivers slipping and sliding towards the end of these runs. A lot of car to handle. It probably takes a couple laps just to really get into a good driving shape, too. We're going to see a lot of drivers hitting the wall on the corner exit. And I expect a lot of Dover stripes tonight.
Dover stripes?
Some Dover stripes.
Oh, grouping of cars there. DJ Champ in the 91. Good to see him out tonight. Trying to see if we have any other entrants that we don't normally see. Furco back here tonight in the 19. See Furco able to race with us here this evening. Weaver, it's also March Madness, isn't it?
It is. It is the madness that happens in March.
You big, I know you went to an NIT game the other night, right?
I did. I did go to
How'd that
an
go?
NIT game. Well, it was a good time. Despite my team losing for all but a couple minutes maybe of the game, but it was a good time. Always fun to go see some sports in person.
So they lost? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
They
I was
lost.
just making sure. Because I don't pay attention. College basketball didn't exist this year,
Yeah, right.
It's very unfortunate.
I mean, that was common amongst most of your former classmates and
Yeah.
They just
Yeah, even the head coach of the team from the year before,
it happens.
Ricky J coming down pit lane. But March Madness underway, folks. Hope your brackets aren't busted so far. Mine was literally after the first game, so it is what it is. But
weren't alone there.
no, and that's the only thing that's given me any kind of solace. I think that's the word I'm looking for. You ever daisy chain cables together? You ever do that?
I don't think so.
Good,
'Cause I don't know what that means. So.
So what do you take like a surge protector and you plug another surge protector into it, and then like another surge protector?
Oh,
Daisy
I
chain.
did it. I've done it with like not a full surge protector, but like the extension cord with the 3 at the end. I did it with that just to make it longer, not really to.
But not like a 6 outlet to another 6 outlets. So then all of a sudden you had, what would that be? 11 outlets instead of 1. Like you didn't do that.
Well, it was 1 to like 3 and then another 3. So.
Okay. So
Kinda,
yeah,
but
daisy
definitely
chaining.
not. Yeah,
Not-
a little bit.
Not too crazy.
But it was just for the link more than anything. I was only hooking up the one thing in it.
The length, I've heard the length's important to some,
Yeah, I mean it's not everything.
Yeah.
But it helps sometimes.
It does.
Sometimes you need a little bit of length, a little extra length on there.
Not everyone can position the cords the right way, right?
No, and I mean at the end of the day, I think everybody wishes they had a little more length in life, but Got to deal with what you got.
Matt's in chat rooting on the Zags. Last I checked, they were up by a pretty hefty margin.
The zigzags. Hopefully, a lot of these drivers ain't gonna be zigzagging tonight. A whole lot of going straight and fast.
Yeah, Greg, that's what we're talking about. Electrical cords. What did you think we were talking about?
Have you ever unwound like an extension cord? Like you got like one of those dryers and not dryer, leaf blower.
Yeah,
There we go. Electric ones. You just can't reach the end of the driveway. It's just right there, but it's not really all the way there.
Yeah.
I've had that problem a couple times. That's what I mean. You just need a little. Everybody needs a little extra links.
A little extra. You're like right on the doorstep of finishing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just need that little extra. Welcome in, Jason. Weaver is not gridding, so we are waiting for the command.
It's not my fault, Joe. I was talking.
I just didn't want to get an angry email from our from one of our sponsors. Looking at you, Zach Rogers. Anyways, Tyler Mallon's rolling off with the pole once again here tonight. He was your Rockingham winner for earlier this year, so look for the 18 to be stout. Zach Rogers to the outside, the 18 and the 5. 5, of course, your winner last week. Row 2 is Steve Grant in the 011 and Wiley King in the 095, so two of the Team Speedland cars there on row number 2. Then Nelly and Joshua Clements roll off in row number 3. Row 4 is Silver Bullet and Terry Scott. And rounding out your top 10 tonight is the 91 of DJ Champ and the 9 of Ken Hansen, who just want to make sure we follow up on last week. He did lose third gear. He wasn't just, skipping it for fun on the restarts. Hit the like button, folks. Subscribe if you haven't already. Sit back, relax. 140 laps of action on deck here tonight from the Dover Motor Speedway. Again, so glad you joined us here this evening. We are going to have a good one for you here tonight. Tyler Mallon with control for the start of this one. Down and away we go. Green flag. We're racing here from Dover.
Ooh, a little wheel spin a little further back, and the pack that looked like Silver Bullet had a little sideways there on the throttle, but everybody gets around. Now to turn 2, Zach Rogers is going to take over the lead.
So Zach Rogers able to take the lead off of the outside line there, as you said, Weaver. Another thing to note, Wiley King lost a spot from the outside. Clements was able to get on by as we look throughout the field, but everyone's staying right there down on the bottom groove as Rogers leads the way.
Yeah, you see everybody within about 2-3 cars from that bottom line, some a little higher up, maybe not hitting that bottom as good. You want to get as close to that white line as possible. Gotta be careful though, not much of an apron here. Very unforgiving change of slope there. Going from the infield to the track.
Do you know how to define the slope of a line?
You measure it?
No, like of a graph.
Oh. You measure it?
It's the rise over the run. So you measure the rise and you measure the run.
Who's looking like they're going to rise on this run here, Joe? Seen it before here at Dover. Tyler Mallon likes to let off, save some of those tires, maybe giving over that lead, but not letting Zach Rogers get too far away. Zach Rogers also could be saving some tire himself in the lead, maybe not going 100%.
I mean, the other thing, too, to consider is we've seen Tyler just... The setup on the 18 is... And what they've been doing this year, they've been so good as a team of getting that car to be perfect on the long runs, Weaver. I mean, this 18 team, they have been lights out on these races when we see long green flag runs so far this year. last week being the exception due to some other unforeseen issues. But this 18 definitely, if the Whisper is already a lot of tire wear and really loose race cars, you have to think the 18 will be getting back to the front at some point. Right now, though, it's Zach Rogers showing the way in the number 5 Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. Also to note, Steve Grant sitting there in 30, qualified up there. He's held on to that spot as Joshua Clements and Wiley King start to challenge for that final spot up on the podium.
Out of the field still, staying close here, almost 10 laps into this race. '91 of DJ Champ's way off. He's falling back.
The brain fade going on by there down into turn 1.
Looks like that 91's back going full song now. Sounded like he was off throttle going down the straightaway.
Rolo got my joke earlier, so thank you. And howdy, Magoo. See Clements going on by Steve Grant there for the 3rd spot in that Ally Chevrolet. That's the best color on the racetrack, is that purple or magenta or whatever you want to call it on the 92.
Top 2 Zach Rogers, Tyler Mallon starting to put a little bit of a gap on 3rd place now. 3rd on back, though still tight, running single file.
Ken Hansen looking to the inside of Terry Scott for position. Carl take that one away, move up into 6th or 7th, I believe. Was 7th?
7th position for Ken Hansen. Terry Scott back to 8th now. '66 of Terry Scott. Just looks like he's having some trouble finding that low line. Keeping it about a half a car up.
Wiley King going on by his teammate and team owner, Steve Grant, there in the 011.
Joshua Clements in 3rd is starting to pull away from the pack, kind of reeling our leaders just a little bit. As Tyler Mallon makes a move on Zach Rogers for the lead.
A move the points leader back to the front of the field for the first time tonight since the start of the opening half straightaway.
Yeah, lost the lead early there in turn 1 and 2 on the initial start. Now gets it back 16 laps into this first run.
Wiley King started to pull away from Steve Grant as well, as Grant resides in the 5th spot. See Ken Hansen and Nelly starting to close up on that 011.
Ricky J started out back up to 9th, now running in this big pack of cars. Still got a bunch more to get up to the front.
He's going to get to the inside Terry Scott here, heading down into turns 1 and 2. So you see Tyler Mellon starting to pull a little bit of a gap here to Zach Rogers. What does Zach have to do here before this first round of pit stops to try to reel back in the 18?
I think he's just got to be careful and start trying to plan when he wants to pit. I think he's going to want to start trying to maybe pit a little sooner than that 18, be the one who's calling the shots on when to start the pit cycle.
And that's an aggressive move, right, Weaver? It's to try to be that first car on pit lane.
Yeah, because it really is a fine line. You don't want to... I mean, you want to be the first one on, so you want to beat the 18 on, but you also don't want to go too late or too soon. So you really just got to find that lap that works for you and commit to it. Joshua Clements, Wiley, King running in third and fourth. They're kind of closing in on our leaders. Everybody spreading out in our top five.
Ken Hansen's gotten up into the 5th spot. Ricky J's gotten up into 6th.
Hansen on a good little drive from his starting position, like you mentioned, up in the top 5 now.
Welcome in, Larry. Yes, Saul is going well. Hope the same for you. Yeah, definitely more purple. You're right, Greg. Definitely more purple. I just wanted to say magenta, if I'm being honest with you. It's a fun word, isn't it? Magenta. You know? Come on, Weaver, you say it.
No, you say it again for me, Joe.
Magenta. Caution for the first time tonight. Ryan Voiles is slow here, coming off of turn 2. Oh, it's like
rear end damage.
It's like some contact with Monty Keller. Oh, Monty. So Monty blew up here. Maybe. Maybe not. Got loose off the corner, and then Ryan's kind of collateral damage. What we call an unfortunate turn of events in the business. Monty get loose off the corner there. He's saving it all the way down the front straightaway, then back up, and oh, contact there with Voiles.
Yeah, and you see he's on the brakes as hard as he can there that whole time, and trying not to get in. Anybody still collects Brian Voiles. Hard hit for Voiles in the outside wall.
So Steve Grant electing to stay out here as everyone else comes down the pit lane. Tyler Mellon showing the way. Race off pit road. Give it to the 18. 5. The 9 of Ken Hansen. Going to gain a couple spots here. Loser on the cycle, though. I don't even see him on track. What happened to Joshua Clements? Weaver, what happened to the 92? There he is.
Take a look at that.
Did he fall out? Yeah, indeed he did. So our third place runner falls out of the server, loses connection, and loses all his track position.
And luckily not going to go a lap down here, but tough break. Track position is huge at a track like this. We've seen a couple drivers be able to work their way through the field, but still tough.
So working this First caution of the night, a good time to remind you folks at home, we got more great racing action coming up for you here on JTN. Starting off Saturday, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time with the Polar Bear 200 Richard Stunt Memorial Race at the Texas Motor Speedway. Again, coverage kicking off at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Then it's the Arizona 200 Maverick Cup Series, race number 2 of their season. They kicked off this past week on JTN. You can go check the replay of that one after we're done here tonight. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, March 26th. And then Wednesday, we're truck racing once again with our friends here at the Bomb Squad Racing League with their truck series as they head to the Tricky Triangle. Coverage kicking off at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races much, much more, of course, live right here only on JTN, presented by our friends at SchemeHaven.com. Wow, that was a mouthful, Weaver.
Big list of races coming up.
Big list of races. We have Tuesday through Thursday covered the next few weeks. We'll be back with our friends at TMP the following 2 Wednesdays as well for their last 2 races of the year before their Winter Series season concludes. And of course, 2 more Maverick races, and then of course we're live each and every Thursday night with our friends here at the Bomb Squad Racing League for the BSR Cup Series. So Tyler Mallon will be leading us back to green, coming to lap 29 of 140. Again, working our first caution of the night. Pretty good little run there to start the race, huh, Weaver?
Yeah, very good run. Definitely a lot that they could have learned and leaned on there in that pit stop.
Here we go into the restart zone and back away we go. Green flag once again here from Dover. A bunch of wheel spin there further in the back as they barrel down into turn 1.
Got to be careful with those cool tires on a restart here at Dover. Can easily get those rears out from under you on a restart.
You see Zach Rogers already starting to apply some pressure to the back bumper. Tyler Mallon here. Ken Hansen has driven into 3rd. And that 9 car, Ricky J, is now 4th. We talked about Ricky starting all the way out, shotgun on the field. Now up inside the top 5.
Just made a big pass on Wiley King get there to 4th position.
It shows you how crucial these restarts are, because that 93 started at the largest deficit for track position you can get, and now he's in it.
Ken Hansen now putting it to these leaders now, trying to take a look on Zach Rogers, not quite there.
And this is where if you're Hansen and the 9, you know, I mean, we all know, again, the prowess of the 18 and the 5. They've been so good here this year, but apply some pressure on these guys. Maybe make them run a little bit harder than they want to right now, and maybe equalize those tires out and give yourself a shot here as the run wears on to get around them when their tires wear out.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Put the pressure on, like you said, make them wear their tires out. Just got to be careful you don't go a little too far and really burn your stuff up to where you're losing too much on the back end.
How do you know when you've gone too far and you've tried too hard? And does it ever really matter?
I mean, if you're still out there pushing as hard as you can to keep up, and you're really falling behind, you gotta know when to fold them. Saying, Joe?
I do. Gotta know when to fold them, know when to hold them.
Exactly. Right now, though, Ken Hansen's holding him. He's putting some good pressure on Zach Rogers. Tyler Mallon's starting to slip away just a little bit there in 1st.
Now, we did get a couple anonymous complaints about, you know, when Tyler's leading, we don't show the 5, but when the 5's leading, we show the 18. So we're showing the 5 here in 2nd. Just wanted to point that out. Weaver, what do you think about free throws?
I think you gotta be making them, man. There's no reason to not make free throws. if you miss a free throw, what are you doing? It's free.
It's free. It's free money, right? We're closing in on that 10 laps into the run, and that's where we kind of saw these top two separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Do you kind of foresee that this time, or do you think they're going to back down their pace a little bit more on this run?
No, I think if it happened the first run, it'll happen again. But then again, the rest of the field has had a chance to maybe catch up, do something different, maybe make some setup changes. And I think we're seeing that as the field is staying real close, real bunched up right now. Jay has closed in on the back bumper of Ken Hansen. He's brought some friends.
Are they nice friends?
I don't know, Joe.
Again, folks, we're kind of in a holding pattern right now here at the front of the field. Feels like everyone's just content to kind of ride around. Don't see anyone applying too much pressure as Hansen, again, trying to find a way around Zach Rogers for the second spot.
I think more than anything, just trying to give him something to think about there on corner entry. Not really there to make the move so much, but...
Now, Weaver, we always hear on the super speedways drivers looking in their rearview mirror, but I don't think it gets talked about enough how much you, like, even on a track like Dover, you know, it's not a short track, but it's a short turf track. It's definitely not a super speedway. You still look in your rearview mirror quite a bit, right?
I mean, if you're not looking in your rearview mirror, you're missing out on any track because you really need to know what everybody around you doing, especially the guy behind you trying to pass you. If he's going to start running a different line, you got to know how to combat that. So mirror driving's a skill at any racetrack.
Why does it always get such a bad rap?
Because people are bad at it.
You had advice to somebody out there, how would you tell them to mirror drive?
Just do it. Ain't that hard. Be better.
Wait, you got any updates?
Huh?
Any updates for folks at home?
I do now. Number 3 Kentucky has been bounced from the first round of the NCAA tournament.
If I told you Oakland was actually the closest university to me, would you believe me?
I would.
Okay.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah. Pride and joy of Oakland County, Michigan. The Oakland Grizzlies have defeated the Kentucky Wildcats 80-76 in the first round of the 2024 NCAA tournament.
That's a bracket buster.
Busted. That makes me happy. All right, back to the racing.
Hey, you know, I got a, well, not the closest university to me, but the closest one in the tournament. I'm playing a very big underdog game tomorrow.
Florida?
The Stetson Hatters. They're just a town over.
You should go to the watch party. I'm sure they're going to have a watch party.
Maybe. I don't care about them that much, but, you know.
You're a Bethune guy, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know if that's... I know that's not the same
local
conference, right? But... Or is it?
Oh, no.
No. Welcome home, Kathy.
I can't remember what conference Stetson's in.
Ricky J starting to apply some pressure to the back of Zach Rogers here for the second spot.
I made it by Ken Hansen, looking real strong now. 3 coming alive late in the run. Saw he was kind of holding back early. Tyler Mellon now maybe seeing that pressure in his rear view, just trying to put a little bit of space between him and that 5 if that 93 was to get by.
Also, congratulations to the Detroit Red Wings on winning. I'm slurring my words tonight. Oh my goodness. See, watch this battle for a second. You know those two goobers like to race with each other.
A whole lot of goober talk.
Huh?
It's a whole lot of goober talk. Ricky J is there, just can't seem to get that run to really start that pass.
No, Greg, we're not hanging out with Mac Daddy. I probably said, like I said, like you're saying, I probably sound like I am. My goodness. It's been a long week for old JoeTow, let me tell you. We were down in Daytona, Florida again. Go check that one out. That was the Maverick night of all Maverick. It was the great American Maverick night in America. That's what it was. Welcome in, Darren. Darren tuning in about midway through the race to say hello and then probably immediately dip. We'll see if he's there later on in the broadcast. Called out.
He's gone. He ain't even there. He's gone right now.
Huh?
He ain't even there right now. He's gone right now.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully he at least clicked the like button, you know? You ever notice that? You ever notice that? All our friends tell us they click the like button, but then there's...
Now that you said it, you're going to see that like button go up.
That's okay. That's the point.
Back on track, Ricky J up into second now, sets his sights on Tyler Mallon. Mallon had put a pretty big gap there. He's starting to
Lucas.
close.
I cut you off. I'm sorry. Mallon's put a pretty big gap there. But Ricky J's closing in, right? Is that what you're saying?
That is what I said, Joe, yeah.
I just take your words and finagle them around a little bit.
I don't even think you finagled them. That's exactly what I said.
Word.
Those were my words. I didn't know this was Black Lives Matter.
Oh! Dude, that's great. Can you say that?
I did, so I guess I can.
Tread carefully, Weaver might catch a tune, says Darren. There's Joshua Clemens in the 92. Where'd he come from? He's lapped out, but where'd he come from?
I think he just came off pit road, Joe.
Wow, look at the tire difference. I mean, we knew that 92 was fast, but man, tires.
Joe, I need you to do me a favor real quick.
What's that?
I need you to take me just 3 good deep breaths. Alright, not in everybody's ear with your hot breath.
All right. Well, they needed to hear it, right? I can't do it and tell them, oh, I did it. You know, like
I'm sure they could have took your word for it.
I don't know. Okay, folks at
As
home,
could
could you
I.
take my word for it?
That gap Ricky J was closing up to Tyler Mallon, starting to grow again. Gotta expect these guys to start thinking about when is it going to be time to come down for tires. Rogers in third, Wiley King's back up into fourth.
Yeah, you know, it's just JTN things. Just JTN things.
You can't blame that on JTN, Joe.
Just JT. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. The day job decided to be a long week. This job, now we're getting a snowstorm tomorrow up here at JTN headquarters in Michigan. It's been a long week, Weaver. It's been a long week. Going out to Grand Rapids this weekend. And then immediately driving back the same day. It's been a long week. But you know what they say, we sleep in May, right?
Mm-hmm. They're still out here stretching these tires as long as they could go.
Are you seeing that Ricky J's marked ahead of Tyler Mallon? Or did Tyler like blink across the line or something?
Not seeing Ricky, well, in time and in scoring, yes. But I'm also not seeing a lap time for Ricky J. I don't know what's going on with time and scoring.
Something seems amiss.
It's getting sorted out now.
Did Ricky J get a lap added for some reason? Just randomly there?
Maybe.
Was that Voiles trucking bonus?
No, I think that might have been what it is. You pull that card out, he gets 2 a season. Entitles him to 1 free lap at any point. I think it's like a punch card.
Ah, okay. Greg says a couple of drivers have been blinking out. They're trying to adjust their laps. Thank you, Greg. I'm sitting here. I'm like, there's no way I missed like that'd be a big thing to miss, wouldn't it?
Speaking of a little bit, let's go on board with the 93 Ricky J here. Listen to how he plays with throttle going through these corners here on these old tires.
You can see it a little bit here too from our helmet cam. On board with the driver of the Voiles trucking forward.
A lot of off throttle time there. Probably not on the brakes too much. And just working it ever so slightly, getting back on.
And working that throttle too, Weaver, is that partially him trying to feel those rear tires kind of grip up and go?
Yeah, just making sure that nose is pointed in the right direction. If you're waiting for it to fully rotate on the old tires like this, you're just going to be waiting too long and sliding up on corner exits. So you just got to, pick your poison, take a little bit out of it at a time until you get back on it full throttle.
Make some contact with the wall there off of turn number 2. We go back to our standard cams. See Tyler Mallon still out getting passed there by the 49 of Brain Fade.
Wiley King running up in the top 5 now down on pit road.
Have to think our leaders are going to have to come here soon. And here comes our leader, Tyler Mallon, down pit lane. And here comes Ricky J. So our 2 leaders now down pit road. Believe that hands the lead over. Who's that? Does that hand the lead over to the 5?
Believe it would. Believe Zach Rogers in the 5, the only car yet to pit.
Oh, smoke there as he's trying to pull down the pit lane.
A very tough pit road to get onto here, and a tough pit road to navigate while you're on it. Just a 35-mile-an-hour pit road speed, very easy to speed. It's like an eternity that you're down there.
Greg, I just saw your comment in chat, and while you won't, I don't think you're going to see it as much now, obviously, that they're on the new tires, but here's on board with Tyler Mallon in the 18. This shows you a good difference of what they were doing with the old tires versus the new tires. We were talked about how Ricky J was stabbing the throttle. You see Tyler here, he's slow to pick that throttle back up, but he's not stabbing it, you know what I mean? Do you not know what I mean? Do I need to explain?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking to him.
Oh.
Oh. I'm sorry. Yeah, explain it, Joe.
Well, you see, Tyler's got new tires under the car, so there isn't as much of a worry about the rears hooking up on corner exit when he's jumping back on the throttle. Watch him go down into the corner. You see it jump off a little bit there. You can see the gauge twitch a little bit. You can't really hear it, though. And then you just able to pick right back up on the throttle, smooth rolling back into it. You know, doesn't have to go through that stabbing that we saw Ricky J with that dun da dun da dun da dun, you know? That's the sound it makes when you stab something. You ever stabbed anything, Weaver?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Quite a lot. A few things. And when you cook and you stab things a lot.
That's right.
Tyler Mallon now back out there on those fresh tires, enjoying a lead and almost a 4-second gap. Back to second place, Ricky J. 011 of Steve Grant is in third. I'll tell you who all those pit stops did not work out for. That's the 5 of Zach Rogers. Finds himself back in 7th place,
Oof.
15 seconds behind the leader.
That's not good.
Stayed out just a little too long.
We call that disastrous, don't we?
Absolutely. If this race goes green, it's going to be hard for him to make that time up and really have any shot of him back to where he was running. Definitely going to be hoping for a yellow here. Our last 60 or so laps. Last few laps, Ricky J has been able to close in now. Got that lead down under 3 seconds for Tyler Mallon.
Still a healthy margin for our points leader out in front of the field. Steve Grant and Nelly, though, close battling here for the third spot, so we'll turn our attention here for the time being. Watch these two battle for the final spot up on the podium. Steve's had a good run here so far tonight. Saw him drop back early on in the race, but has been able to parlay that back up a few spots. And Nelly's been on a roll as of late. Weaver had a good run last week. Has another good run going this week. Always one of those drivers that's right there on the cusp of competing with those guys that we see and we talk about each and every week. It just feels like just one little tweak away from being able to run up there with the 5 and the 18 and the 93 each and every week.
Yeah, I think if anything that 103 has going for them, it's just the adjustments they can make during a race. They may not fire off good, but they usually end up towards the front by the end of the race. Definitely a car that usually builds well through the course of a race.
That's a lot of attrition too, right? Being able to kind of stay out of everyone else's junk.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Luckily not too much junk to avoid here at Bomb Squad, but got to be making the right choices, putting yourself in the right position.
Ricky J's gotten that gap to the lead under 3 seconds, 2.8 right now, almost 2.9. Wiley King is also closing on this battle, as is Zach Rogers, as Wiley gets to the inside of Nelly. Make the pass there for the 4th spot. Here comes Zach Rogers looking for 5th, and he'll get by the 103 as well. So Rogers' car, he stayed out later than everyone else, Weaver, but now enjoying some of the benefits of that with the fresher tires and a lot of steam going back to the front of the field.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Going to get a little bit of an advantage here. It's just, is it going to be enough to make up that gap? Still around 14 seconds behind our leader here. Tyler Mallon's starting to put some more air between him and that 93 of Ricky J at the front.
There you see Tyler, and again, expected one more pit stop here as well from these leaders with how long they were able to go on the last run. Maybe some of these other drivers looking at 2 more stops. Tires becoming the limiting factor here tonight. we like it when there's tire wear, right? I mean, I really enjoyed that race from Bristol on Sunday. I don't know. I assume you were in the same camp, Weaver.
You gotta have some tire wear.
You think Sunday was a little overkill, though?
I think maybe just a little much, but
I think it was enough to prove the point, though, that tire wear is good.
I think I said it somewhere else, but I'd rather them go a step too far.
Yeah.
Than trying to make small changes. I'd rather just go too far in one direction and work
because you
back.
can always adjust back, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you do when you make changes on anything. I feel like that's just a good strategy. You know,
if it's something you can afford to do like that, then absolutely.
well, it's the team's money. It's not yours, right? Wiley King's moved up into 4th. Now you're seeing some of the cars that stayed out or pit a little bit earlier. They're starting to really fall off hard on the lap times. Tyler, though, has lapped all the way up through 8th. Sorry.
Teams have been saving enough money buying like 4 sets of race for the past 3 years, so.
That's true. That's true. I always like it when the teams complain about spending money, but then they also just spend the money anyways, you know? Or like the drivers were, I think we talked about this before, but the drivers complaining about the fuel saving at Daytona.
Race teams out here snagging up engineers left and right, but complaining when they actually got to use them.
Yeah, pretty much. Do 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 do. Malin's starting to work through some lap traffic here, trying to get around Nelly in the 103. That's what happens. We talk good about these drivers, and then they go a lap down, Weaver.
How it goes every time.
Why are we like that? Why are we just such terrible jinxes?
I don't know, Joe. Tough question. A lot of time in this race, still a lot of pitting to do, so plenty of time for that 103 and Nelly to get back up there.
Well, I mean, he's still kind of up there, right? Like, top 10. It's not like huge deficit. Exactly, Greg. Put the race in the driver's hands. That's what we like here on JTM. We like when the race is in the driver's hands, like this one has been here so far tonight.
Gotta think that 93 Ricky J is trying to concoct something in his head of how he's going to make up this 4-second difference to him in that 18 of Tyler Mallon. Try and get a shot at a win here. He's got a lot of room to play with if the strategy doesn't work out. He's got a fifth. Oh, we got one around going down pit road.
Oh, that's Steve Grant. He's backing up. Don't back up too much. We stay green. Riley King also down on pit lane. Would expect these to be the final pit stops for the night for these drivers.
Yeah, I think so.
You always talk about the leaders, but nothing happens to them. No, Greg, we're jinxing them. You know, Tyler Mallon's just been so dominant here tonight. It'd take a miracle for this 18 not to win this race, Weaver. Have I done it now?
I don't know. We'll see. I might join in on that.
Who's your pick to win?
It's a little late for that.
They still got
your
30
pick?
laps. I'm gonna pick Tyler Mallon to win the race.
Crazy.
Sorry, Tyler. We're heaping it on all on you tonight.
Ain't no we, Joe. That's you.
Okay, well, who are you picking? You gotta pick somebody.
I'll pick the 5.
Zach Rogers.
Zach Rogers. Miracle comeback here.
Miracle. You ever had Miracle
comeback.
Whip?
I don't like it.
No.
Nope.
That's okay.
Well, I don't get it. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I used to have growing up, and then I stopped eating it.
Well, here's the point. Ricky J, second place driver, he's on pit road here.
Ooh, he's gonna try to get an
Coming down
advantage.
a little early.
Yep.
Could this be the difference? Gap coming in was 4 seconds.
And Tyler's still out on track, so add another lap to the difference between the two. I mean, what are their lap times that they're running right now, Weaver, compared to their fastest of the night?
Last time by Tyler Mallon ran a 24.2. That's over a full second slower than his fastest. He sees what Ricky J has done. He's now coming down pit road. Got to answer fast.
So let's find Ricky J. There he is in the 93. Let's see where he cycles out compared to Tyler Mallon. Now, they were running comparable lap times there before they pit. Oh, man.
Tyler Mallon now off pit road, running around on the apron.
Here comes Ricky J. But the 18 will still have the lead once things cycle through.
All right, now Zach Rogers, our leader, he's coming down pit road this time by. You can't just go out here now that you got these fresh tires, last pit stop, last run of the race. You can't just go, all out just yet. Still got over 20 laps in this race.
Spencer Martin in chat, you do truck racing too? Yep, we'll have actually next week. Hey, reminds us. Upcoming races here on JTN. Bob's Quarter Racing Truck Series is going to be live right here on JTN next Wednesday night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Before that, though, we're going to be racing a special memorial race, Polar Bear 200, Saturday at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time for the Texas Motor Speedway, and then the Arizona 200 Maverick Cup Series, race number 2 of their season from Phoenix. Coverage kicking off that one, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more, of course, are all going to be live right here only on JTN. Hit the like button and subscribe, too, so you don't miss a second of the action.
Everything cycled through, got a couple laps on the tires for each driver. Ricky J has gotten that lead down under a second for Tyler Mellon with the slight undercut here. Still a big gap to make up. Still got to deal with passing him. Will he have enough tire? .195, a Wiley King up into third. Zach Rogers in that 5. He's out in 4th position after his pit stop. And Hansen is going to round out our top 5. You know what else makes the top 5 extra special right now, Joe?
What's that?
If you ain't in it, you ain't on the lead lap. 6th place on back, at least 1 lap down or more.
Ricky J closing in. The Jaws music is starting to play here, Weaver.
Just some slight traffic ahead, not too much.
Welcome, Nelson.
Gotta imagine Ken Hansen might put up a little bit of a fight here, trying to stay on that lead lap in 5th place.
Well, because you never know when a caution's going to come out, right? And being on the lead lap and being able to pit with the leaders is pretty dang important compared to being a lap down and having to pit with the lapped cars. And then getting your lap back and having to start behind said lapped cars.
Zach Rogers has made it by Wiley King for 3rd position.
This Dover version is beautiful. In-game Dover is so nice. With 10 laps to go, Tyler Mellon can see the checkered flag just out the windshield, but behind. It's about the only threat so far here in the second half of this race. Ricky J in the 93.
I think he could see a little glimpse of that checkered flag too. Not done fighting.
You think?
Yeah.
I cut you off way too much, Weaver. I gotta get better at that. I should be like, I think our boss should write me a pip or something, you know?
Maybe he should.
Who's our boss, though?
I don't know. You. Put it on a sticky note.
Put it on a sticky note. Stop cutting Weaver off. At least I don't cut you off at the bar, you know?
Yeah. This could always be worse.
Exactly. I mean, would you rather get cut off at the bar or your words stepped on every 2 seconds, you know? I mean, what would you rather have?
lead, just staying around half a second for Tyler Mallon. Does Ricky J have anything left in those tires? Does Tyler Mallon have enough under him to defend? This time by will be 5 laps to go. Next car ahead of Tyler Mallon is the 095 Wiley King. He's running in 4th position. Last car on the lead lap.
Tyler Mallon coming up on Wiley King, putting the 095 a lap down. Now only the podium sits on the lead lap here.
You can see the rear end of that 5 up there. I don't think he's going to get there here in just the next 2 laps.
I think he wants to, though, right?
I'm sure he's trying at this point.
Might be a little demoralizing for Zach. 2 to go. So it's been the Tyler Mallon show once again here tonight. Off of turn number 4, white flag in the air, 1 lap to go. And Weaver, my game is doing the thing again. It's your Death Craver 1 to go here from Dover. Please give me the export. Death Craver, of course, chronicles the story of Enzo, who finds himself invited to a competition by an agent of his Universal Racing Agency, Max Speed, with an opportunity to race on never-before-seen tracks. He races on those never-before-seen tracks, but little does he know he has to go up against Death Craver and his squadron of deranged assault vehicles and teams and drivers, and it's just, folks, it's a crazy story. You want to go read it. It's Death Craver. It is now available on Amazon. By Zach Rogers, Death Craver here on your Death Craver 1 to go as Tyler Mallon comes around and will win here at the Dover Motor Speedway. Isn't that right, Weaver?
Correct. Tyler Mallon gonna take the checkered flag here tonight. Jay gonna come home second.
I gotta figure this out, man.
That's incredible.
I gotta figure this out, man. I thought it was fixed. Weaver, it was fixed, and then it wasn't.
Man, you just can't have that.
It doesn't make any sense, man. Doesn't make any sense. But Weaver will be getting me the results so I can give them to you folks at home. Tyler Mallon's going to get to burn it down here from Dover, folks. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, do it so help support us so much here on JTN. We can't thank you enough as always. Oh, look at that. I can get right into the server. That is crazy. That is insane. So move on to our post-race results here. Don't pay any attention to the scroller. You did miss the last lap. Our cameras crashed again this week. Don't know why that happened. Apologies again, folks. Tyler's just doing Polish victory laps apparently. Didn't run around the track enough in the right direction, has to run around it in the wrong direction. Yeah, it did get a thing. I don't, oh man. Weaver, I'm sad now.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Did those results come through for you?
Nope, they didn't. So I'm gonna need you to send those my way as Tyler Mellon burns it down. Your race winner here tonight from Dover. That is true, Allison. That is true. So post-race results, we'll get those on your screens momentarily. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in to JTN here this evening. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, do it so help support us so much here on JTN. Weaver, I mean, folks at home, they got to see a pretty fun race here tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It was a good, fun Dover race. Got a little bit of everything there. Some good tire wear, some good pit strategy there towards the end. Saw Ricky J get pretty close.
And that was only 2 laps difference. So do you think Ricky J, maybe looking back at this race, and we'll get a chance to ask him, but do you think maybe if he maybe pit a little bit earlier, could have played out a little bit different for him?
I don't think so. I think it was whoever moves first, and then you really just get the reaction time to gain up there, because Malin knows you can't let him go out there for 4 or 5 laps on those new tires. At that point, you would have lost the lead and lost the gap.
Again, Tyler Malin is your race winner here tonight. We'll get to talk with Tyler, as well as the rest of our top 3. Let's go ahead and start down in victory lane, talking with the driver of the number 18 Toyota. A dominant win here once again tonight, Tyler. 120 laps led. How's it feel?
It feels great to win in my home track. I think the 93 has won the last 7 consecutive races here, if I'm not mistaken, all the way back to like 2019. So
why do you know these stats off the top of your head?
Because I looked them up before the race.
Why do you remember? Do you write them down?
Yeah.
Oh, do you actually?
Yeah, I have a list in my DMs with Joven.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Oh my goodness. Is that what makes you better than everyone else?
I wouldn't say I'm better than everyone else. I think I just had a very fast 18 Interstate Batteries Camry tonight, and we were able to put on the... We didn't blow an engine this week. That
didn't blow
great.
an engine. That's important.
Very unfortunate last week. I was very excited for Charlotte. It's one of my favorite tracks. And then lap 13, the crew chief comes over the radio. Looks like you got some kind of engine problem there. And I was like, oh, I'm going to just park now. But kept going and somehow finished on the late lap. But yeah, just put on a great show tonight. Only 1 caution as well. That the long run speed of this 18 really played into that. And those that long green flag run was a lot of fun, because this track is so much fun to manage the throttle on old tires.
You kind of like stab the throttle, right? That's how I was describing it. Is that an accurate description?
Sometimes I think I did that. I tried to be very smooth on it and get on it very gradually exiting the corner, save the right rear tire a little better. But sometimes you're just not thinking, and you stab it and let off again and stab it.
So that's what makes you better than everyone, because everyone else was stabbing it.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I guess you're just better. I don't know. Take the compliment, Tyler. Take the compliment.
Thank you.
There we go. There we go. Tyler, again, a fantastic run once again here tonight. Obviously, the points leader and whatnot. So, know you got more folks to go talk to down there in Victory Lane and schmooze with. So, before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. You got great partners on the car, got great folks behind you. Floor is yours. You know what to do.
Thank you. Well, first off, thank you to you guys for broadcasting. I'm going to come back and watch this later, definitely. Watched Charlotte last week and spent the entire time just sobbing my eyes out. Let's see. Thank you to Magoo for letting me race over here. Brian and Kathy Boyles for sponsoring the series. Everyone in here for racing with such respect. It's such a great place to race. If you want to race here, you can. I'm sure you'll be able to. Let's see. Interstate Batteries for being on the card tonight. Well, as always, we switched back to the old last season scheme tonight, and seemed to work out well. Gave it a good ride. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you to Toyota for building the car.
They built you a good engine this week.
Yeah, it didn't grenade. And
That's good.
spend 127 laps going 25 miles an hour slower than everyone else.
Hey, that's good.
I mean, on the bright side, my tires were saved very well last week because I wasn't going fast enough to burn them off. So there was no risk of blowing a tire.
So, like, you didn't hate Goodyear last week, you just hated TRD.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
I never hate Goodyear. This is we don't blow tires very often in this 18 team.
Well, Tyler, again, congratulations on another win here tonight. As always, it's a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you. And again, can't thank you enough for the time.
Thank you, sir.
Tyler Mellon, driving the number 18, your race winner here tonight, and the hometown hero getting the victory. Let's go ahead and next talk with the guy that had won 7 straight races here at Dover. Driver the 93, Ricky J. Ricky, what happened? You lost.
Hey?
Thought Tyler said you won like 7 or 11 straight races here or something.
Something like that.
What the hell? Why didn't you win tonight?
I don't know. I didn't feel like it.
Oh, okay. Obviously started out back here this evening. How hard was it to kind of drive up through the field? Because obviously it wasn't like night and day. It's not like you got to the front almost immediately, but you definitely had some time and only one caution to kind of get you bunched back up and give you some help track position wise.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it more challenging for sure, but it was definitely interesting. But we've always had a really good car here, so it was a little bit free after probably about 30 laps there on that first run. So we had to make a couple adjustments, and it was better after that, but we were just a little bit too far behind to make up the deficit. But we had a good run. It was a lot of fun.
What's the, you and this 93 team, it feels like, I don't want to say this year's been hot and cold, but some weeks it feels like you guys got race winning speed. Some weeks it feels like you're not yourself. Have you felt that way? And where does tonight kind of fall if those are the two extremes?
I'd say it falls right in the middle. I've always had a great car at Dover. I'd say naturally it's probably one of my best tracks, if not my best track. For me personally, I've kind of just taken a completely different approach to racing, especially as of late and after this last year. At this point in my time racing on this game, I'm just happy coming in and just being able to be here, with these guys and just race and have a good time. Yeah, obviously I still want to win like everybody else, but life gets busy and stuff goes on. So I don't have the time anymore to sit here and try to make my cars better. So I just keep going week to week and doing everything I can to help everybody else and have fun. That's what matters.
Well, Ricky, if that's what matters, man, you're doing a great job at it. Congratulations on the second place run here tonight. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Of course, got a great partner on the car that you got to highlight. Got great folks behind you as always. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
I just want to say thank you to you guys for doing the broadcast every single week. We appreciate all the work that you guys putting on these races so we can go back and watch them. The amount of memories that we've had on here have been just nothing but special. We appreciate y'all for that. I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming out and racing and supporting us and watching out there. I hope that we put on a good race for you guys. Best group of guys you can race with here. Shout out to Brian and Kathy Voiles and Magoo and just everybody here at BSR Voiles Trucking. It's been, an honor to be here every single week with this group of guys, and I appreciate everything they do for me, and I do my best to try to give back to them in any way I can. So just thank everybody, and we're going to keep on rolling.
Well, Ricky, again, as always, it's a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you after one of these races. Congratulations on a strong run, and again, can't thank you enough for your time here this evening.
Thanks, Joe.
BSR Ricky J, driver of the 93 Voiles Trucking Ford, your second place finisher here tonight from Dover. Go ahead and finally bring in our third place finisher. He's the driver of the number 5, Zach Rogers. Zach, you got a copy.
Yeah. Do you like interviewing me last or something?
Yeah, I do actually.
Because the last 3 streams you went third, second, first, third, second, first, third, second, first. Now tonight you want to go first, second, third again, man. What's going on here? I went down to the waiting room first to get taken first, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, that sucks.
Not as much as our pace tonight.
What was up with that? Felt like that first run you kind of you had the similar pace, and then race went on. We got the long run there in this one. We went from, I think, lap 30 all the way to the end, 110 laps. What happened?
So Tyler was helping me out with Dover the whole week. The only thing I hadn't really asked him for was gearing. And I finally asked him after qualifying and learned that I was about 200 longer gear on the 4th final drive ratio than what he was running. And he's like, oh, well, that's why you're 7 seconds slower than me based on our time tracker that we did over the week. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to go all the way to what you're running because I'm afraid I'm going to wreck. So I went about 150 closer. And that was a mistake because once we had the long run, even before we had the long run, before that caution came out, I was like, oh, this thing's going to be loose. And I had to add wedge. I had to take grill tape off. I had to do a couple things. And it made it better. And I was able to drive it fine. But I feel like we would have had maybe a little more pace if we had just left the gear longer. So that kind of, that was kind of just floating around the back of the mind. But, yeah.
So tonight's race, is it kind of just an indifferent feeling at the end of it? Like, I finished third, it was a good result, but never felt like I had that legitimate shot to win? Is that what I'm hearing?
I didn't think I had a legitimate shot from the drop of the green, to be honest with you, but I was hoping that we were going to be closer to Ricky J. But I mean, that man must be practicing in his sleep or something, because I asked Tyler, and he's like, oh, no, he didn't practice. And he just runs so many laps here that he finds a way to do really good here. And he was on it again tonight. So props to him on the pace. We're just, we're third best here unless we get like a short run. I can drive the heck out of it for 20 laps, but after that, forget it.
Well, Zach, again, you lead 19 on the night, so hey, like you said, drive the heck out of it for 20 laps. Great result nonetheless, third place finish. Before that you go, I want to give you the opportunity. You got great partners on the car as always. You got great things to shout out. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
I want to thank Bass Pro Shops. Been on the car the last 3 weeks. We got Airheads coming back next week. DuPont and Kellogg's for future races. Also looking forward to Pocono next Wednesday for the debut of the Death Craver JTN truck. We got a nice big JTN logo sitting on the deck lid, and
it's like an extra 30 horsepower.
Yeah, it'll be fun seeing that scheme on track. When I go back to watch the stream next week after it's all said and done. But so looking forward to that. Thanks again for the Death Craver one to go. I noticed it was a little extra ad lib tonight considering the apparent hardware issues, but appreciated all the same. Got to thank Brian and Kathy Voiles for everything they do for the Cup Series here, for putting the show on through you guys every week. Always a blast watching these races back, and looking forward to watching this one back as well. I want to thank Magoo and everyone here for letting me race here, and Tyler once again for all the help that was put into Dover.
Well, Zach, again, congratulations on the great run here tonight. It's always a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you. Can't thank you enough for your time, and looking forward to next week at Pocono, man. Congratulations on a great run, and again, thanks for your time.
Yep, good win to Tyler.
Zach Rogers, driver the number 5, your third place finisher here tonight from Dover. Weaver, that's going to wrap up our coverage here this evening. A great little night of racing. Man, oh man, though, it was definitely the Tyler Mellon show once again.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Great race and a dominating win there for Tyler Mellon of the 18 car.
Folks, if you want to get in on the action, you can head on over to bombsquadracing.net to find out more about how if you want to, you can get involved here at BSR. Remember to also give us a like and a subscribe to us here on YouTube, JoeTowNetwork. Also, go check out the new Track and Turf Media here on YouTube for all of the Fake Racers podcasts. Much more of the great content that you've known to come and love over with when we were JTN2. Again, now it's Track and Turf. You can also follow us on our social media, JoeTowNetwork on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Follow at Fake Racers. Follow at Track and Turf. Do all those things. Help support us. It's free to do, and we appreciate you so much for being with us here tonight, being active in chat, talking with us, clicking the like button, comments after the race. We appreciate all of it and can't thank you enough for all of your support. As always, a big thank you to the admins here at BSR, Magoo, Brian Voiles. Again, a big thank you as always to Brian and Kathy Voiles Trucking, for their sponsorship of the Bomb Squad Racing League, as well as us here on JTN to bring you these races each and every Thursday night. With all that, though, being said, folks, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for my colleague Joseph Weaver, I've been Joe Tawanski. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up, off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Checkers out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, not 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back.
No.
The wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no! Big hit. RJ Bishop. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Ricky
big
J,
wreck.
big crash into the wall.
Oh,
the leaders
no.
have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard in the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is junk.
Through the north chute they'll go. The 24's into the wall. Almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact. Turn around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver Bluff 200 in thrilling fashion.